Nathan Riley's name, and then he held the button up. He seemed to be relishing those moments that he had last year, the back and forth with Republicans, and was trying to recreate that and how to take it head on.
Relishing and prepared for them, right? I mean,
to throw at the outset here.
Right, I mean, they were some that were only understood on immigration are going to get some people. I mean, you could see how it was playing out as they did it, and they're like, something about it being a police because of that.
You don't know what it is, though.
It is with a re-election rather than state union. But I found it also reflective of our times. Nothing is as it once was in American politics, and I think this speech, the demeanor from the folks in the House, the president going into raw politics, him calling out his predecessor all these times. Yes, that's unprecedented. It's also unprecedented to be running against a guy who once served as president, who you defeated, who's trying to come back. It's all these things are, and I just think if we apply our sense of what State of Union addresses have been, that's just not where our politics are anymore. And so while I know the Republicans will criticize us for being political, it seems to
Why the fuck is this shit not fucking working, man?
I agree. But it's often Joe Biden in the past who has tried to go back to politics. I remember those ones. Mitch McConnell's my friend. We can do bipartisan deal. Joe Biden's not realizing we don't live in that world anymore. In the past, he tried to go back to that world. He realized that world doesn't exist.
Come on, so you had a glitch already.
Is what David touched on the preparedness. He wanted, and was prepared for the Lincoln Riley moment. Again, Lincoln Riley, the UGA student, tragically murdered by a Venezuelan undocumented immigrant who should not have been.
Throw the fucking ball.
He obviously had been told they are going to bring this up. This wasn't news, by the way. We all learned a few hours ago that the Martin Luther Agreement was going to have these pins, and also on this part of the story, a lot of people are talking about, including Republicans. And he not only did he say her name, he mentioned that he had lost children too. He lost his daughter when he was in his 30s, and he lost his son Bo a few years ago. Talked about their misery, repeated something Martin Luther King said about killed by an illegal, although he's already getting some blowback from immigration advocates about using the term to talk about that. And then he talked about how the compromise on the border would have disincentivized people crossing illegally, because instead of staying around for 5 or 6 years until their hearing of crossing the border, talked immediately about it, and then said, do you want to debate the border or do you want to fix the border?
I think this is a critical point because, Jake, you're absolutely right. There's no question they contribute to those moments in the White House. There is also no question that Congress, the Senate, this is Joe Biden's home, and he likes to spar in moments like this. We have seen that is classic Joe Biden. Yes, he's prepared on specific topics, but from the very beginning where he said, Sonny, if I was smart, I would go home now, and everyone laughed, to the end where he said, I'm almost wrapping up. That's what we see with Joe Biden. I want to point to a couple of things. I heard from a Democratic source who, over-delivered the two things that we never like to talk about, high energy and his age. He addressed his age. He came across with high energy. All the Republicans, I have a bunch of Republicans saying that was a campaign speech, but even they admit that he did.
So let me say, I misspoke. I said something about local language. She was found on the University of Georgia. She was a nursing student. She's not a University of Georgia student per se. Anderson. Thanks very much for being here in New York. Dan Jones, you were watching this closely. Very proud. Look, strong in the beginning, strong on Ukraine, strong about January 6th. Strong in the middle. He put his chest out for the Republic. He ain't scared of the Republicans. He said, "Hey, let's fight right now about the border. Let's fight right now about these tax cuts for billionaires." Strong at the end.
Stay with him, bro.
I thought that was a remarkable, fiery, powerful, vigorous guy, and I think it gives people a lot of confidence that this guy might be able to go this. And by the way, he's still standing there talking to people. He came in slow. He talked to everybody. He started at the beginning, started the middle, started at the end. That's actually what he was observed before the speech. A lot of not only about his agenda and what his second term would look like, but perhaps even more importantly, is he all there? Is he vigorous?
Yeah, I mean, we said it was also about performance, right? And I think tonight you showed that you could give a very long speech, and if you come for me, don't come for me like I sent for you, if you want to go for it. And so I was being kept throughout the speech from progressive leaders, from folks who were during the speech talking to black men in Michigan, and they were saying, I can get behind this agenda. I will say, I did hear from some voters on the Gaza issue who were unsatisfied. But there is still eight more weeks, and I think that there is an opportunity. But tonight, I think Joe Biden did what he was supposed to do.
He talked about Snickers and snack chips before he ever got to the border. He was obsessed with his political rival more than he was obsessed with the condition of the American people. It was so weird. This guy lectures us all on unity of the soul of the nation, and he gives the most partisan convention speech in literal opposite of unity. It's so partisan. He's obsessed with
Why is this shit not
It's not
fucking working?
statesmanlike. I'm going to say one thing on Israel. A little too much. Gotta hear both sides on Israel and Hamas. No, you don't have to hear both sides. Israel's our ally. Hamas is the enemy. He lied about our allies and implied that they are not delivering humanitarian aid. They are delivering humanitarian aid. I do not like every week this administration is going back on our commitment to Israel, and it was in this speech and it's going to be a work.
I would just say this too. Whoever does the speech, right? Loudness doesn't equal energy, right? It was the loudest statement. I could turn my IFB down because my ears are bleeding, right? It seemed like, to me, both of you guys who are Republicans are not talking about. God, you see, he didn't seem like he knew where it was.
He seemed like Walt Kowalski. He talked about this. He seemed like Walt Kowalski, Gran Torino, screaming at kids, "Get off my lawn!" Like, oh gosh.
My guess is that
Come on, this is bullshit.
about the cost of food and
Bullshit, man. I don't know what the fuck going on.
I think that scored with a lot of people. I think that the populist economic agenda is a powerful, powerful thing for him. Look, there are parts of it. I'm not sure that the attacks all landed exactly. They may have landed well in that room for sure. And they landed well with base voters for sure. I'm not sure with those swing voters that they landed as well. But I do think that the agenda he out. I also, by the way, think that probably what doesn't land well is his proclamation that our economy is the envy of the world, and that inflation and you would also raise questions for his performance and the importance of that. I'm wondering which is.
Listen. I think that he passed the first test, which was he did command the room. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene walked right into a trap there. It was kind of fun to see. No, I think this was his setting, and he did very well. And I think his people did.
Listen, Donald Trump did Joe Biden a huge favor. He set the expectations on the floor. Joe Biden basically had to show up and not keel over on the dais tonight, and he massively outperformed that. Just objectively, there was some stumbling, there was some coughing, he's trained to sometimes stutter, but he did show energy. He showed the ability to get through a long speech. Now, I think he was smart to start with setting the stakes very high at the top, to talk about Ukraine, to talk about the threat to Ukraine, to talk about the threat to democracy. Where he starts to wane is in the middle. When he's talking about the economy, it was like patting himself on the back, sort of, it's actually better than you feel that it is. The border, the substance of it was quite good. That should have been at the front end of the speech, the number one issue for a plurality of voters. But overall, I think most people are going to say that looks like a man who's up to the job. All right, thanks, Anderson. All right, you both know him so well. You've been here preparing for 3 State of the Union speeches with him. What did you just say?
I thought that was perfect. That was vintage Joe Biden. He gave an incredibly forceful performance, as everyone's been discussing, was what he needed to do tonight. He needed to show that vitality. He showed how comfortable he is in this environment. We were talking about this.
2 yards the loss.
That he loves the opportunity to go back and forth with the House. And so this was really a moment for him to show command, which you saw him do as he was going back and forth on immigration and a couple of other issues. You know, he really likes to engage. And so him having the moment, having the opportunity to do that, you really saw kind of the best of him. You saw somebody who was on top of his game and very comfortable. And I think that was probably the single most important thing. You know, the other thing I thought was interesting is that he used a lot of language that really pleases Trump and the Republicans as weak. I mean, he said, you know, right at the top, you know, we're not going to bow down. He was talking about supporting Ukraine, not bow, like, in all caps, right? We're not going to, yeah. It was really, he did a lot to sort of frame the Republican position on a lot of issues. I think he obviously, you know, talked about
He didn't quite get there.
that he kind of wove that narrative.
And you, having chronicled his career, spent so much time with him in recent days. That's your description that time, right? That you felt his mind was there, but his voice was clouded. His voice was not clouded tonight.
No, this is a guy who came out very clearly to show Americans what he thinks people around him see. This is what you often hear described. We spent time with him behind the scenes. Look, he got out there, and from the very beginning, he was comfortable in that chamber. He wanted to get up there on the lectures, not rushing, spending time with people. And then he gets up there and he begins to speak. And what you heard, I think this is very important, was a kind of comfort. That the clear thing was
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Now,
Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down to the inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. A lot of time for the shoot it to game plan on the sideline after that drive. If they watch the
Oh, come on. Give me a picture. What is this?
he's to the 10. Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 83 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
a rising star within the Republican Party, and so basically the big talk around it was a potential presidential figure. So former President Trump, at 42 is she is the youngest Republican woman in the U.S. Senate, the first female senator elected from the state of Alabama. She's 24 years old, and that's something she is likely to lean into in this speech. All of the Republican Party and parents and the working families. You can also expect that she is going to draw a very sharp contrast with President Biden. David has his role out of taste, out of touch, not according to excerpts who will say our commander-in-chief is not in command and call him a dithering and diminished leader.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up now, go with the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so much with the ball. I wouldn't change it until they showed me a reason to do so.
But first down, Hurts. Looking right side, that's complete to the Vikings. And he takes a ball back as it comes just as we reach good yardage after the catch as that ball good for 30 and a first.
Let's watch President Biden's State of the Union address from our living room. And what we saw was the performance of a permanent politician who has actually
On
been in
first and 10,
office
it's
for longer
Hurts.
than I've been alive.
Again, that's
One
Watkins.
thing
He's
was
in
clear.
space, goes for 25. He's going to get a couple yards, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him. It's another first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Down the middle, they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And so tonight, the American family needs to have a tough conversation. Because the truth is, we're all worried about the future of our nation. The country we know and love seems to
They'll stick with the
have
passing game as he looks to throw.
more freedoms than we did. I worry
Nothing to no doubt for him to get that one out and out because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. It became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
My American dream, me, the daughter of two small business owners from Wood Enterprise, Alabama, to be elected to the United States Senate at the age of 40. Growing up,
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. He takes a shot on the release and swing incomplete.
Brandon, you see why it's a team game here because there's a solid belief that they just released it into the zone. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right, he had him open. Just a split second too late on the release.
Right now, the American dream has turned into a nightmare for so many families. The true, unvarnished state of our union begins and ends with
They'll
this.
throw on third and goal.
Our families are splitted. Our country can do
Watkins, a 7-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have got it back to the score. An outlaw for the score.
Yeah, you're not really serving the defense on this one. You're just counting out timing, making this play happen. 1-2 balls out of his hands. Knows where he's going. Just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions.
It's up big. Eagles get it to 12-14.
She had been sex trafficked by the cartels starting at the age of 12. Sex trafficked by the cartels. Shoebox of a room. And they sent men through that door over and over again for hours and hours on end. We wouldn't be okay with this happening in a third world country. This is the United States of America, and it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it. President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable. From fentanyl poisoning to horrific murder,
And you saw the celebration.
Biden's border policies. President Biden's senseless border policies.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road
Just think about Laken Riley. In my neighboring state of Georgia, this beautiful 22-year-old nursing student went out on a jog one morning. But she never got the opportunity to return home. She was brutally murdered by one of the millions of illegal border crossers President Biden chose to release into our homeland. Yo, as a mom,
taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
about this. I mean, this could have been my daughter. This could have been yours. And tonight, President Biden finally said her name. But he refused to take responsibility for his own actions. Mr. President, enough is enough. Innocent Americans are dying, and you only have yourself to blame. Fulfill your oath of office. Reverse your policies. End this crisis and stop the suffering. Sadly, we know that President Biden's focus don't stop there. His reckless spending. I mean, this could have been my daughter. This could have been yours. And tonight, President Biden finally said her name. But he refused to take responsibility for his own actions. Mr. President, enough is enough. Innocent Americans are dying, and you only have yourself to blame. Fulfill your oath of office. Reverse your policies. Your oath of office. Reverse your policies. End this crisis. Sadly, we know that President Biden's failures don't stop there. His reckless spending dug our economy into a hole and sent the cost of living through the roof. We have the worst inflation in
back to throw here. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you
let's be honest,
get them the ball, give them a little
it's been a minute since Joe Biden pumped gas, ran a carpool, or even pushed a grocery cart. Meanwhile, the rest of us see our dollar, and we know it doesn't go as far. We see it every day. And despite what he tells you, our communities are not safer. For years, the left has coddled criminals and defunded the police, all while letting repeat offenders walk free. Iconic city streets, life is getting more and more dangerous. And unfortunately, President Biden's weakness isn't just hurting families here at home. He is making us a punchline on the world stage. Look, where I'm from, your word is your bond. But for 3 years, the president has demonstrated that America's word doesn't mean what it used to. From abandoning our allies in his disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, desperately pushing another dangerous deal. Desperately pushing another dangerous deal with Iran. President Biden has failed.
Oh, damn.
We've become a nation in retreat. And the enemies of freedom, they see an opportunity. Putin's brutal aggression in Europe has put our allies on the brink. Iran's terrorist proxies have slaughtered Israeli Jews.
First half as the kicks away. And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball.
Aggression in Europe has put our allies on the brink. Iran's terrorist proxies have slaughtered Israeli Jews and European citizens. They targeted commercial shipping, and they've attacked our troops nearly 200 times since October, killing 3 U.S. soldiers and 2 Maybe you see it.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that
Meanwhile, the
an
Chinese
anxious
Communist
moment or
Party
two there, but they do
is
get him down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout
China
with 5
is
seconds
spying on our
remaining in
farmland,
quarter number 2.
spying on our military installations, and spreading propaganda through the likes of TikTok.
Final shot before the half from
Oh,
Mahomes.
shoot.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and now the DB's going to throw the verbal trash their way. When they get back to the line, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Eluding the pressure right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
When presidents faced national security threats with strength
That's it for
and
the first
results.
half. 2 more quarters to
That
go. We'll have
seems
plenty more to
like
see
ancient
after the break.
history. Right now, our commander-in-chief is not in command. The free world deserves better than a dithering and diminished leader. America deserves leaders who recognize that
we get to decide whether our future will
strength
grow
and a strong defense are actually the cornerstones of a great nation.
I know which choice our
Welcome
children
back. Halftime
Are
hour.
you
We
better
are
off
ready
now
for
than you
quarter
were
number 3
when
alongside
you
Charles
were?
Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon.
There's no doubt we're at a crossroads, and it doesn't have to be this way. We all feel it. But here's the good news.
Both
The
these
people
offenses
are
have been in
still
fine
in
form.
the
What will
driver's
the
seat.
second half bring
We
us
get
as
to
we are
decide
underway in
whether our
quarter
future
3?
will grow brighter, or whether
And
it
they're
will
going to start
settle
this drive
for
in
an
pretty good
America
shape,
in
out past the
decline.
30.
Well, I know which choice our children deserve, and I know the choice the Republican Party is fighting for. We are the party of hard-working parents and families.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
Support
The message was too drastic. I think
nationwide
they
access
that they need to
to
change
inducing
things too much.
fertilization.
I do think the
We
offensive
want to
line can
help
play a little
loving
bit
moms
better.
and
I think they'll
dads
try and help them out more.
precious
Keep the
life
tight end
into
in a
this
few
world.
more times and maybe add running backs in
Luckily,
a
I believe
formation to
there's
pick up
no
those pass
greater
rushers
blessing
because they
than
probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the
and
first
that's
half.
why tonight
And down
I
right
want to
around
make
the
a direct
32-yard
appeal
line,
to
4
the
yards on the
parents
pickup.
and
Well, you
in
certainly have to give a
particular
little
to
credit
my
here
fellow
because
moms.
they are playing this
Many of
game
whom
now
I
at
know
their
may be
pace. This is
tossing and
ball-controlled
turning
football.
to
Sustained runs,
wondering
taking
how
their
you're going
time,
to
and
be
making it
in
work.
places at once.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Rolling to his right. He's got his target, and it's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch in the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so
I know
far in
you're
this
probably
one, but
disgusted
he
by
made his
most of
presence
what you
felt
see
there.
going on in
A
Washington,
big
and I'll be
pickup
completely
on
honest
third
with you.
down.
So how
We were
about
going
that
to
for
do
a
it.
chain mover? They're all the way
Look, I
down
get
inside
it.
the
The task
30
in
now
front
for
of us
first and
isn't
10.
an easy one, but I can
The
promise
center
you one
receiver
thing.
in motion to the
It
right.
is
He'll
worth
get an
it.
opportunity right around the
See,
10
I am
scrimmage.
asking
And
you
they're going to
to
stop
stick
him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass and saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Flush it out right. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Called that one for me there, Brandon. I think we're on the same page on not just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards, and they got halfway there.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
America has the
Pass taken in. Miles with 10. Inside the 20 before it's brought down. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays. They just get a crowd.
After that one here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion for a fourth down play.
They get this one down to about the 17. Give the tackle to Hassan.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading reaction and taking the impact to the ball carrier.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
That goal makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they showed passing formation, showing shotgun, and they ran out of it. This nice play by him defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
like this. With moms and dads, just like you.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL.
That despite the current state of our union, our best days are still ahead. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless you.
This offense so far on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries.
And now
This
the
is 3rd and 7.
Katie Britt of Alabama at home there in her kitchen, really delivering a message of fear and concern out there that she says voters have. At the end, they're trying to end on a hopeful note. Joe Lincoln. She's tapping directly into the anxieties people feel about crime.
Oh, come on.
She really didn't go back. But what was interesting is she ended on this note, never forget her seat in the blood of the Patriots who overthrew the most powerful empire in the world. And then right after that, she pivoted and said, best days are still ahead.
So these two teams matching each other's score for score. This last touchdown,
She
that
did not
bumps it back
mention
to 7
Donald
with
Trump.
the extra point to come.
And it's a heck of a way to play, isn't it, partner? You feel good about it because you continue to keep the lead. Your offense keeps scoring. But sure about your defense.
It's 2 points and
The younger,
two-score
bolder,
advantage
perhaps more
as the
moderate
lead
wing of the
swells
party
to
that they
9.
need to bring back into the fold if Donald Trump is going to have any chance of being victorious in November. And from the state of Alabama, she specifically referenced that decision to codify protections for
Now
IVF.
after the touchdown, here's
2 weeks
Butker
ago,
on to kick it
but we're
away.
just shut down by the courts there. I mean, she was chosen and made it very clear. She, as I understand it, actually helped to explain IVF to some of the fellow Republican senators in private meetings in the wake of that court decision. She's known for being a substantive person on the issues, which is needed because I understand that the House Superintendent today called IVF
And you
a new
figure after giving
technology,
up that
even though
last
the
touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
She is also the third woman who has been chosen in a row to respond to the President of the United States Republican Party choosing women to respond to the President. Women are the majority of voters in America, and there is still a gender gap.
There is a gender gap. When I talk to Senate Republicans, many of them say privately they would love for Senator Katie Britt to be the face of the party. But privately and publicly, Republicans acknowledge the face of the party is former President Donald Trump. Someone who is on his social media account tonight defending his conduct on January 6th, and in just a few weeks is going to be standing before judge in New York about a criminal trial about hush money payments to a porn star. That is the likely Republican nominee. Katie Britt is someone they are elevating tonight, but they are behind Trump wholesale in the GOP.
It was a State of the Union address and a response, but also tonight clearly the kickoff of the 2024 presidential campaign.
Throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
AARP has to offer right now. Join AARP for $9 per year with a 5-year term, and your second membership is free. Get access to discounts on everyday purchases, eye care and prescriptions, and tools and tips to help manage your money and maximize your health. Plus, AARP funds to protect your Social Security, Medicare, or join and get mutual aid drug organizer free. Plus, AARP magazine. Cover3 yes, AARP.org now.
These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Dude, dog food, it's not dog food. It's fresh cut. Real meat, real veggies. It's a little weird.
Hurts.
It's not dog food, it's food.
Chris Jones, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
And the echo of headlines, a world unfold.
Terrific
A tapestry woven and stories told.
Every house community.
This summer in our home, a thread that weaves through the air and unites us in moments shared.
After the sack on first down, Hurts is going to let this go for the end zone. It is intercepted at the goal line. Triple taking the play. The Chiefs are this was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is taking care of the ball. All the ball security terms have ever been used. They come in and put the guys on offense right. Just take care of it. Chance to end up winning this game.
He's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they step from behind him. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Never an easy spot here, and they'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Not only immediate, also eliminate.
Now on 3rd and long, they look to throw. Kind of the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was really at the end of all that. It lines up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked out of passing down. The amount of times he's
Welcome back, one of the incredible team here at CBS News. Our coverage of the State of the Union will continue on CBS News streaming, your late local news, and then tomorrow, CBS Mornings. This has been a CBS News special
They've
report.
got one score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
Americans are doing their best to get by, but with an uncertain economy and prices too rising, markets are stretched thin. And Washington's new capital regulation is another thing Americans can't afford. Basel III and
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's going to be inside Smith.
families, homes,
First down, so that's going to do it for closure for sure. They get the first and save the timeout.
have stepped over.
Trump will Trump is going to take us through it. Trump keeps saying today, I'll worry about everything else. Stop and Swamp is doing more for us than we can ever imagine. It is consume.
Whether you're looking for action or a spot to catch some rain and relax, Orlando is more than meets the eye. Come join us for this weekend's News Adventure.
With Rachel Holt is presented by Visit Orlando.
Just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark from start to finish.
You wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need
to restore this iconic site along the Schuylkill River.
A high-stakes State of the Union address. President Biden delivers his speech 8 months before Election Day. His message to the voters and a response tonight from the Republican Party.
Police are on high alert as this continues for the government and getaway sites. So the shooting is the bus stop.
First and 10 here.
And their search for answers.
But first, we are following breaking news. Crews were on the scene of this very large fire after they had evacuated Gloucester County. Chopper 3 over the fire on Sykes Lane in Williamstown. Multiple firefighters are currently battling to get those flames under control. There is no official community.
I would say it was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. But that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
The Grow Home community in Northeast Philly and far beyond. I'm Ethan Warren.
I'm Jessica Curtania. Tonight, a 16-year-old in critical condition. 7 other teenagers are recovering from gunshot wounds. Police say that they believe that they found the car connected to Wednesday's mass shooting, but the driver and the suspects remain on the loose.
Let's get the latest on the investigation with CBS Philadelphia's Kerry Corrado.
Investigations on death to find the people responsible for these social media. They said they didn't resist, but they're still asking for more. Police are trying to spread this surveillance video everywhere. Someone may do something. They say they are searching for 3 getaway driver after 8 Northeast high school students were shot Wednesday afternoon. They say the students were waiting for a bus at the subway station along Rising Sun and Cottman Avenue.
We are moving towards knowing more about what happened yesterday and who we may be looking for.
Investigators say there were over 30 shots fired with 3 guns. Police say the car used in the shooting was stolen. Highway patrol officers found it on Westford Street, the city's only neighborhood. Police say the investigation led them to another stolen footage that may have been connected to the suspects. They say they are currently processing both vehicles and trying to pull as much forensic evidence from them as they can. In the meantime, police say the victims ages range from 15 to 17. They say all victims are in stable condition except for a 16-year-old who was shot down in
Guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Doctors are optimistic. We have to get through today.
Police say they are also looking into whether this shooting may be connected to another shooting that happened on Monday, where a 17-year-old Emotech charter school student was shot and killed at a Scepter bus stop in Ogons.
I don't have ballistic connections to this or any other case yet. That evidence is just being submitted and looked at. So there's a lot more there to do to say definitively disconnect other incidents and not connected together.
Police say they're going to change up their routines and have an active patrol plan in place to deter this from happening again.
I think it's just officers in their covers around the schools and in the separate groups.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure the investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure it's enough time to continue to do that.
Away from our law enforcement to make our public health and safety our #1 priority.
So the big question remains, what led up to this mass shooting? Police say they are still working on a motive. Outside of police headquarters, Kerry Corrado, CBS News, Philadelphia. The Burlham neighborhood is still trying to come to terms with what unfolded last night. Today, only pieces of caution tape remain from the chaos at Cottman and Rising Sun Avenues. We met neighbors Dan and Peter feet away from where the shooting happened. They opened their doors to teenagers who were running from the gunshots. One of those men ran to where the teens were shot and started kicking.
Oh, come on.
I pulled my gun off and, put it around his leg, just told him to hold on to it and, don't let it go.
To see the kids running and screaming and bleeding, it was like a little mini war zone, but children.
Now on 2nd down.
There was a police presence outside of Northeast High School today where police say the victims were students. Everyone there is working remotely for the rest of the week. We spoke with neighbors about the violence in their community. They did not want to go on camera, they say, because of safety concerns.
We thought that this area is like a safe place. But then all of a sudden all these crimes are coming here.
I drop him off and I pick him up every single day. I refuse to let him sit on the bus. He's 13. I refuse. The city's just lawless now.
The two say that they are thinking of moving out of the city because of violence, because of the offering counselors and police staff in person and online. Eagles tackle Jimmy Johnson tweeted, "This house of stuff is right outside the same school that I visited back in November to meet students and talk about my mental health journey. Love your classmates and community. Do better, Philly." We will continue to follow the investigation into the shooting of the 8 students, and when we are not on TV, you can always get the latest updates online at cbsphiladelphia.com.
President Biden addressed Congress and the nation in tonight's State of the Union speech. He discussed many of the issues concerning Americans, including the economy, foreign wars, and the migrant crisis. CBS correspondent Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
Now they'll shift things
Mr.
around.
Speaker, the President of the United States. Before Congress and the American public, President Biden delivered his final State of the Union address ahead of November's presidential election.
What makes our moment rare is the freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas.
While the State of the Union is an official speech, the president touched on key election year issues, including
I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
On the economy, the president cited job growth.
America's comeback is building the future of American possibilities. Building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down.
And called on Congress to cap out-of-pocket drug costs at $2,000 a year for Americans with private health insurance.
Americans pay more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world. It's wrong, and I'm ending it.
As Republican lawmakers in Congress accuse the administration of failing on the border, the president called for a bipartisan solution. The president also unveiled plans for a temporary aid port on Gaza's coast to ease the growing humanitarian crisis as ceasefire talks in the war between Israel and Hamas stall. Outside, pro-Palestinian demonstrators gathered near the Capitol. Families of Israeli Americans held hostage in